I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Bits of real panther, so you know it's good. It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nighthawk Motors, and today I'm going to be going over the 21,500 mile cost of ownership, or 20-month cost of ownership for me specifically, and I also gave a breakdown so everybody else can figure out how to get their cost of ownership for the amount of time they've had their car. So basically what a cost of ownership is basically like maintenance costs, fuel costs, anything you have to put into the car other than your car payment or whatever you have. That's what a cost of ownership is. So today I'm going to be going over exactly what mine was and what it came out to be after 20 months. And that's how long I've had this car for. I've done about 20,100 miles on it, so that's not too bad. And it's relatively cheap. Not as cheap as you would think it would be, but it's relatively cheap. So it's always a good idea before you go out and buy a car to actually estimate what the cost of ownership would be, just so you don't get blindsided with a huge cost that you really didn't account for. So let's get into this whole entire cost of ownership thing, and I actually wrote it down on a little Word document just to make it easier to interpret to everybody. So let's start out with the regular fuel costs of this car. So as I said, I had 21,500 miles in this car right now. And basically what you want to do is divide that by the average mile per gallon you're getting. I'm getting around 25 to 26 miles a gallon in this car. So I divide that by 26 miles a gallon and then multiplied it by about 240 for regular gas. So that might vary from state to state. I know that's probably about the average it's been around here since I got the car, $2.40. So that comes out to roughly $1,984 over 20 months and 21,500 miles. Now keep in mind, I don't drive economically in this car. You can get much better gas mileage than I am. I'm sure you can crack it to the 30s. That's pretty easy. If you keep your mile per hour below 55 or 60 on the highway, I have seen 36 to 39 miles a gallon. And around town, if you don't let your car heat up too long in the winter time, which does eat up a lot of gas, I've noticed, and you are gentle on the throttle and trying to stop too much, you can really crank those numbers up, so that might shrink for other people. Alright, so the next one is actually relevant to earlier in the video when I was going to get an oil change. That oil change ended up costing me about $50, $52, and I've had about 3 of them over the past 20 months or 21,500 miles. So it seems like the car has like a 7,200 mile oil change interval, somewhere in there. I'm sure it differs with different people and how long it's been. But that came out to $156, so we added that to the total. Alright, so the next thing, car washes. Now, I don't know if you guys would agree with me on car washes being added to the cost of ownership of this car, but I think it should be added because every little cent counts, and you know, it might not be like an extreme must-have, but it doesn't make your car look nicer, and it makes you feel like, who isn't going to get the car washed, especially when it's a new car. So that's why I added there. So that was $120, and that's calculated over 1 wash per month with like $5 per wash or somewhere around there. So it was only $120. Now the cabin air filter, I changed myself. I can't remember specifically how often they said to change it. It really depends on where you live and how much dust you have floating around the air, where you drive. If you're driving off-road, obviously, there's going to be a lot more dust getting into your cabin air filter intake. If you're in a clean area where there's not too much dust, it just varies. So it's a good idea just to keep an eye on it, maybe look at it every 6 months to a year and see what's in there, and then replace it as it gets dirty. where you start smelling something weird. So I replaced that one time, and it seems like the average cost for a cabin air filter is like $10 to $16. The one I bought was $12, so I added that to the tally right there. Now, car insurance, it varies so much for everybody, depending on where they live, driving habits, how long they've had insurance for. So I just added it to $100 per month for a single car like this. Like I said, there's so many different things that vary with car insurance. I can't give like a definite how much. You'd have to figure that out for yourself. But over 20 months, obviously, you times 20 by 100, and that is $2,000. So that's actually a little more than the average cost of gas for the car, for me at least. Now, as far as normal wear items like tires and brakes, I'm probably not going to need them for another 20,000 miles. So we're not added those. We haven't added those on here yet. The windshield washers or windshield wipers are getting kind of streaky. So it really varies how you use your windshield wipers, if you take care of them or not, how much road grime is on your window, how you treat them in the wintertime, because if you try to use your windshield wipers when your windshield's icy, it tends to eat them up. So this car, it's getting towards the end of its life, almost 2 years for the windshield wipers, which isn't optimal. My last car, I had the windshield wipers were on there for 5 years, and they had no streaks. Like I was surprised with that car. 5 years, no streaks on the windshield wipers. That a car was sitting out in the open all the time and it was being used, So that's crazy, like 5 years. But no windshield wipers yet, so we're not going to add that there. And like I said, we're not going to do the car payment stuff because that varies from person to person. So yeah, as far as cost of ownership goes at 20,000 miles, that's pretty much it. And it comes out to a total of $4,502 over the 20 months and 21,500 miles. Which, let's see what that calculates into per month on average, just for the cost of ownership. I did this earlier when I was making this spreadsheet. So you have 4,252 divided by 20. 42.52 divided by 20 comes out to $112.60 per month on average, with fuel costs and maintenance on this car. So you add that with maybe like a $300 and something car payment, you're paying $500-600 a month for this car to keep it up and running. So it's a good way to break down before you go out and make a purchase like this, to see if if you want to afford that, or if you want to go for something else that might be a little more economical and a little cheaper. It's really up to you. It's just good to know how to do these things, and good to actually do them, so you're not blindsided with something that might cost you more than you think you would cost with that car or purchase or whatever. So I hope you guys found some value in this video, and if you would, please comment on the video, let me know what your cost of ownership is, if you feel like calculating it or not. And if you have any other video topics you want me to talk about, I would appreciate if you left those in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel so you can check up on it later on. Alright everybody, have a great day, and thank you for watching. Okay, so lastly, before I get on the road with this car, I'm going to just go over the optional engines in this vehicle, because I'm a big fan of engines. I'm sure everybody else is too. This one's got the V6 in there. It said it has 290 horsepower and like 260 pounds of torque. There's a 3-liter turbo diesel option, which I'm sure has a little less horsepower, but I'm sure the torque is around 400 foot-pounds. And for anybody that doesn't know, like diesel engines, they're used in those big trucks, and they have a lot of torque for heavy towing capacity. It doesn't necessarily mean the vehicle will be faster, but it should help out with towing capacity. And usually diesel engines are more economical as well, so you should get better gas mileage. I don't have exact figures in front of me because I'm not doing a review on the diesel engines, but feel free to go on Google and look it up if you're really interested. And they also have the 5.7-liter V8, like I talked about before, and the 6.4-liter and the top model. And now actually they have the track-off version. It's got the 6.1-liter Hemi engine with the supercharger from Hellcat in it. That thing's really cool. They're around